Okay, we are live. Welcome to Grumpy Vegan Grandad. That is me. And today's guest is, as you can see, a Lankan Reviews, which isn't her name. Her name is Sajini. I'm going to try and pronounce your last name, right?
Yeah,
and it is Wijetileka. Wijetileka.
that's right.
Is that right?
That's right. Congrats.
Wijetileka. So you don't. That J doesn't change to something else, a bit like Spanish or.
It doesn't. No.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Sajini, give us a little introduction as to who you are and what you're all about, please.
Okay, so I'm a part-time Instagrammer. I do vegan cooking on my channel. I've been vegan for a month. And I also got brought up in a Buddhist background by parents with Sri Lankan heritage. So, there's a lot of interesting play and interesting things to talk about there.
Right, okay. Well, I'll decide what's interesting to talk about, if you don't mind. This is my channel. Don't try and take over now. Don't try and take over. But while we're on, all I want to do quickly before we talk is I want to just have a look at your channel. Now, I've looked at this, and every time I look at your Instagram page, something happens to me. It starts with a slight rumbling in the stomach and gets stronger and stronger and stronger because this food is absolutely beautiful and vibrant. It's amazing. You do a few reviews as well, I can see there as well. But we'll chat about that a little later. But the food looks amazing, absolutely amazing. Yeah, like it. Spree Gaming's welcome. So let's talk a little bit about Buddhism, right? Now, I've always said, if I was religious, the one religion I may choose to go to, not be brainwashed into, choose to go to would be Buddhism because of its approach to nature and wildlife and this. Yeah, it seems one of the most sort of ethical religions, but it's not totally ethical. I've found out to a degree. What's the whole story behind Buddhism as far as the links with being ethical and nature? And can you explain it to me? Because I'd like it to come from a real Buddhist.
All right. So in our scriptures, there's a lot of talk and a lot of sort of instructions on how we should care for the environment, keep the environment we live in clean, treat animals with respect, so on and so forth. At the same time, they push more of a zero waste approach and encourage that, that you don't waste food that you're given, that where you have a choice in what you eat, you try and pick the one that would cause the least harm, be it to the animals or the environment, and try not to eat anything killed.
It's just that statement, the least harm. It's just like, I mean, I know you're a new vegan, but it's just that statement of the least harm. In what way? The least. I don't understand that comment. What do you mean by the least harm? The least harm to the environment, least harm to the animal, least harm to the species. What exactly does that mean?
It's a global call.
As a global, yeah.
Because, in a lot of the Buddhist countries, you've got monks that go from home to home.
Yeah.
And the scripture has said basically that the monks have to accept what the families give them. And what the families give them might not necessarily be vegan.
Right. So, in essence, a Buddhist is vegan. However, the lifestyle dictates that they cannot refuse food that is offered to them because obviously they rely on the goodness of others. So,
absolutely, yeah.
Right. That's interesting. But is there any?
But at the same time, if you don't want to eat something for whatever reason, you can't accept it and then throw it away later. It's just kind of ungrateful if that family has, saved up money and given you part of your meal, part of their meal as your ration. It's kind of rude to throw it back in their face.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with it to that point, but let's take, I mean, you're a Buddhist and you're now living in London, right? You're not living in India or Sri Lanka, and you're not relying on alms or gifts from others to
no,
for
I'm
your...
not a priest. I'm not a nun, so I make my own choices.
Right. So I'm slowly getting this now. So Buddhism isn't a vegan centric, if I can say that, vegan centric is it a religion? Is it a religion?
Way of life.
A way of life, a Buddhist way of life. It's interesting, isn't it? Because it's like, it sort of catches all bases to a point. So is veganism popular amongst Buddhists in the UK?
I would say out of the people that go to my temple, no, it's less than 5% of us.
Right. So
possibly 10% are vegetarian, and then the rest eat varying degrees of meat and fish.
Is that, do you think that is, I mean, obviously this leads on to your vegan journey, but is that through ignorance or tradition, do you think?
It's a mixture of both, and then some obviously choose to maintain their cultural cooking tradition, regardless of how many times you show them conspiracy or dominion or so on and so forth, because they're so attached to the value that they gain from eating meat and fish or having eggs or dairy.
Oh, this is hurting my brain slightly.
I know
it's hurting my brain, because it's like you've just said to me, we don't want to abuse nature. We try and live in with nature. We don't want to cause suffering. Yet you show Buddhists suffering at the worst possible degree, what they're contributing towards, but they don't want to change because they've always, it's just crazy, isn't it? There's hypocrisy in that as well.
You say that, Danny, but then, you've got to look at the fact that some people have, when people are brought up, they've got a religious heritage and a cultural heritage. And sometimes, the fact is Sri Lanka is full of, 4 or 5 different religions, like Islam, Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, and, there are people from a Jewish background or a Sikh background, and there are animist type religions as well. And some of those religions rely on hunting and sacrifices. And the thing is, if you've got the remnants of 200 different ethnic groups with different religious traditions in one country, ideas for the cuisine will come from all of them. And, a lot of people are crazy about them as in biryanis with lots of meat, and they're very attached to that, and they think that's part of being Sri Lankan. And I think part of the conversation I'm having on my Instagram is to prove that, you can be vegan in Sri Lanka, you can maintain, your cultural heritage and do it in a very ethical way.
I get it. I totally get it. I mean, believe it or not, we've got a British tradition of fish and chips on a Friday, and roast beef and lamb and mint sauce on a Sunday, and Yorkshire puddings and the cooked English breakfast. It's this tradition thing that people think they must maintain it because it's essential of being who we are, which it isn't, because 400 years ago, the British people were ruled by people speaking French and were eating turnips, you know what I mean? So it's like things change, things evolve. But
things do change, things do evolve.
Yeah, of course they do. Yeah, they have to. They have to.
And I think things are moving towards the better. Because in Sri Lanka, you've got a lot more people cooking vegan. You've got a lot of people running vegan retreats, vegan hotels, vegan yoga and surfing holidays. You've got a lot of vegans coming to Sri Lanka because there's so many options for them to eat. And so their influence is permeating onto the local. Then similarly, you've also got a lot of Israelis coming over. And I think more than 10% of Israel are vegan. And those guys
Yeah, Israel has,
Yeah.
has per capita the most vegans in the world in any one place. Yeah, definitely. I've had this conversation on somewhere else. But can I ask you, Saj, right?
Yeah.
You've only been vegan for a month, okay?
Yeah.
What was you prior to that? Was you vegetarian or was you just regular? I won't say normal because it's not normal.
No, I was ITAL, so I was eating fish, but no meat, eggs, or dairy.
Right. Okay. So I personally call that pescatarian. So,
you could call it that, but yeah.
and what do you call it? ITAL.
ITAL, yeah. So it's a
I've
sort
never
of
heard that term
way
before.
of life. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay. So what pushed you to veganism then? Because you've explained to me that Buddhism doesn't dictate it. You've explained to me that your culture doesn't dictate it. What pushed you over the edge then? What made you do this?
Finding out more about the fishing industry, and I saw a TV show with Matt Tebbutt about 6 weeks ago, and they were snook fishing in South Africa. And the way they treated the snook and snapped their necks was just unacceptable.
Can you explain what that is? Sorry to interrupt. Can you explain what did you call that then? A snook?
Snook, yeah, it's a South African cold water fish.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, so what happens is, they'll go out with their nets, they'll collect the snooks and whatever else comes off in that layer of water, and then they will take the snooks out, snap their necks, which is just appalling because, a lot of people are under the impression that when you're fishing, you're line fishing and you're just picking out what you want, and then you just let them die by not,
suffocation.
the amount of water, yeah.
Suffocation. They suffocate. Worst possible death possible. But
exactly.
But why?
But the neck snapping is worse.
Yeah.
And seeing the neck snapping, and I just thought I don't want to be part of this.
I mean, isn't it crazy though that, I mean, if you hadn't have seen that, would you not have gone vegan?
No. No. I would have still gone vegan, but I think I would have had to see more resources. And you and I had a conversation about how when most people are industrially fishing, they will pull everything off the bottom of the ocean and then throw it back in dead. And I just think that's not fair, and that's not ethical, and that's not maintaining biodiversity in the healthiest way possible. And therefore that causes environmental harm, and that's at odds with my ethics. So that's where we are.
Yeah, not at all, because I liken trawling. Trawling is when you drag a net behind and you just catch everything in the past. It's non-discriminate. I call it carpet bombing. It's the same effect as carpet bombing. You're not hitting a particular target. You're just hitting everything. Non-discriminate. So they drag everything across the bottom. They catch bottom feeders. They catch whales. They catch dolphins. They catch turtles. Bits of the net get ripped away. The biggest plastic pollution problem we've got is discarded fishing gear, not plastic straws, although that does contribute. But the biggest problems we have in the ocean is discarded fishing gear.
Absolutely. So, Danny, there's a really good vegan brand called Level Up for Earth, and they do this interesting set of slogan bags and T-shirts and hoodies, and they have things like straws for suckers, and they provide information on why disposing plastic in the ocean is bad, why trawler fishing is bad. And I think it's something that people need to take a look at when they're making their choice about which meal hurts the environment the least.
I mean, did you ever get the chance to see Bear Grylls, The Island?
No, I didn't.
You never saw that? I actually applied for that and got a runner-up on that, and I was going to be the first vegan on Bear Grylls, The Island. Yeah, but the guy changed his mind. He decided to go. But if you watch those shows, they're on an island that is basically isolated. It's a tiny island. And every morning they get up, and they used to get toothbrushes, flip-flops, odd flip-flops, shoes. The amount of rubbish washing up on that beach was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting. It wasn't nice to see, but they managed to scavenge all sorts from the debris on the beach. But I find that crazy that people just see fish as non-sentient animals. There's a lot of evidence pointing towards, because it's a bit like chickens, right? Chickens don't have expressive faces, okay?
Yeah.
But they communicate in different ways, with sounds, with different coloured feathers, with movements. And fish are exactly the same. They communicate with different movements, different colours, different fins, different movements with the fins. And you've got this story about a goldfish, and it's got a 3-second memory, and it'll swim past the castle and go, oh look, there's a castle, and then it'll go around again. Oh look, there's a castle. But it's absolute bullshit, because basically, when a fish has been caught in rivers and lakes, and it's been proven, once they've been caught and thrown back in, they never go to that spot again for years, because they remember what's happened, the pain. People say that they don't have any feeling in the mouths from the hooks. Wrong again. It's been proven. But it's not that. It's the fact that trillions of marine life are being pulled from the ocean, trillions a year. And trillion is a big number. It's it's an unfathomable number. It's just something you can't even. I don't think we can only count to a billion. It takes us 32,000 years to count to a billion. So you just add them on a billion then. It's like, oh man, it's just absolutely crazy. So what was your first week like once you cut the fish out? Did you feel like you were going to collapse from lack of protein and nutrients?
I felt better than ever. And, what I did to support myself was I ordered loads of really nice takeaways and vegan ready meals and salads, made a real treat and an occasion out of it. And I think, if you make a point of proving to yourself that you can eat well as a vegan, you feel better for it.
And another thing is, it's not just Sri Lankan food, but Asian food in general is so, I'm going to make up another word here now. Veganizable, isn't it? It is. It's just like, you don't have to throw meat in there. You can make an absolute wonderful curry with just broccoli and spinach.
Oh yeah, and then you can also veganize, recipes for meat and fish, like what we did on your channel the other week. Yeah.
Oh, I meant to mention that, by the way, folks. Saj did a little cooking experiment. It was an experiment to see if we could do this on my channel, and she used a cooking pack and she made a beautiful curry. So jump through my uploads and have a look for the cooking takeover. And you're going to do another one soon for me, aren't you? I mean, I keep pestering you, but I want a typical Sri Lankan everyday satisfying meal from scratch. No packets, no cutting open packets. I don't want to see any packets.
No worries, I can do that.
I will find you. I will come and look for you if you do. Any packets, any scissors get used on that.
Yeah, no scissors. But
I'm looking forward to that.
You have my word.
Yeah. Let's have a quick look who's on while we're having a look. So we've got Bohemian B. Hello, Bohemian B. UK vegan family. It's hello, it's both. UK vegan family. Nikki Rivanine. Hello, love your pictures, Nikki, on Instagram. And we had Wispree Gamings very early on. So those are the people who were chatting away on the air. Let's have a look at what does this say. Saw an advert today where it says meat and fish. I couldn't help but shout, saying fish are sentient like cows, pigs, sheep, and chickens. Stop shouting in the street, Bohemian B. For God's sake, you'll get locked up. So what did your family think about you going all vegan on them? Were they?
They were fine, because the thing is, most of their meals are vegan. It's just they make the meat or fish dish to suit them.
Right. So it didn't sort of pique the curiosity. Are they not potential?
I mean, they did ask me why, and I told them why. And I said I'm happy to show you these resources, so you can make your own mind up about things. And they're still very culturally conditioned, but they're all up for giving up meat and dairy. And eggs. It's the fish that's the real sticking point for them.
Yeah.
Culturally, there's a lot of Sri Lankan dishes that include fish that they really love.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, my journey was pescatarian.
Yeah.
But for different reasons. It was, I mean, I knew I was causing harm and I knew exactly what I was doing, but I was still locked into the protein myth. and because
Yeah.
I wasn't, I was still trying to build my body and eat a lot of calories. I couldn't let go. I couldn't let go of that one particular source of protein. And also,
Yeah.
I believed about the omega myth as well, that we can't get the
Ooh.
essential omegas from anything but fish. Obviously, later we found out that you can get it from nuts, seeds, sea vegetables, seaweed.
Supplements,
So
name it.
yeah. So what conclusions have you drawn from your month of veganism as to have you noticed any changes in your skin, in your energy levels, any major differences?
Regrettably, it's coincided with a very busy month at work, and so I've had a lot of sleep deprived nights, and so sadly I've broken up in spots, but I have lost weight, which is great. I do feel a lot lighter in myself. I have a lot less stomach acid and a lot less stress. So swings and roundabouts, but I think you'll see the results more positively if I spend a month sleeping the correct amount and taking it from there.
I mean, I must admit, if I spent a week at your house with some of the stuff that you cook there, I think I would be waddling out with about a 3-stone stomach on me because, some of that stuff you cook is absolutely amazing. You also do. Is it a supper club you do, or
That's right. Yes, I do vegan kitchen demos of Sri Lankan food, and when people come to the demo, they eat the proceedings as part of a supper club.
And what does that involve? Is that online or is it live? Is it what? How can people join this?
So I've been doing it with my friend Natalie, who's Israeli, and basically she keeps a kosher kitchen. So it's important that we don't use meat or milk in that kitchen. So what happens is, Natalie does sub clubs with different sorts of chefs. And so she'll do all the setup and she'll do all the shopping for me and basically help me out with marketing. And then what happens is, we prep and then we cook together with people around. And then once a meal is there, we serve it, they eat it, and, they comment on it and tell us what they've learned and, head off with very good feedback. That's what we do. But
Interesting.
The thing is, with the lockdown, we normally do groups of 8 to 14, and we can't have that in anyone's home at the moment. And Nat and I both have full-time jobs, and so, we're concentrating more on our other sources of income and waiting for the COVID situation to improve to the point where we can restart.
Caused by bloody meat eaters.
Absolutely, 100%.
Oh, it's so annoying. So bloody annoying. And we're in re-lockdown again up here in the north. We're in lockdown again. But they're keeping the pubs open. We're in lockdown, but they're keeping the pubs open. Mind blown. Absolutely mind blown, Saj. How does that work? I mean, I know
that they're going to close restaurants and allow schools to open. Like, they're just making this up as they go along.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I know why a lot of it's in the northwest because we've got big Asian areas in the northwest, and they do have big families. Now you've got 5, 6, 7 kids, and they're out in the streets playing with a friend. You can't police them 24/7. So yeah, they're going to interact, and I think that's the main reason why we're getting a little bit of rebirth of it. Plus, it was Ramadan and Eid and going on at the moment, so that didn't help things. But yeah, the government don't seem to be sort of setting the rules straight so everybody knows what they're doing. I mean, the first thing you do is stop an activity where people lose inhibitions, which is drinking.
Yeah, absolutely.
you lose your inhibitions, you start hugging everybody, or you start fighting, which is what usually happens in my town. One of the two when you sort of like getting drunk. So that'd be the first thing to shut down. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad the gyms have opened again, but again, it's a breeding ground for but everybody's been great at the gyms, you see. Everybody's wiping down equipment, but as time goes by, we get out a little bit sort of confident, don't we? And lose the practices after a while. But yeah, so hopefully once all this has disappeared and calmed down, you can expand this idea. I mean, did you start this supper club before you were vegan or during?
Before.
So
Pre-lockdown.
right. And is your partner vegan as well?
Natalie is not
Natalie.
vegan.
She's not.
No, she followed the kosher diet, but because of the kosher restrictions, they eat a lot of vegan food.
Right. So are you trying to influence her as the good vegan you now are? Or yes, that's the correct answer. That's the answer I wanted to hear.
Yeah. I want to show people, that we have a lot of positive vegan things coming out of Sri Lanka. And Sri Lankan cooking is one of those cuisines that has never quite made it onto UK TV. And a lot of people that have been trying to get it onto UK TV, I'm sorry to say, but, they've been to Sri Lanka on a holiday, liked it and latched onto it. They're not actually from the background themselves.
Yeah.
And I felt that, there's a gap for people like me who are from the background to represent.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's really nice. I'm touched that people like Emily Dobbs and Karen Gakani really like our stuff. And, they've showcased it to a wider audience. But it's very different when you come from the heritage yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Bohemian. Whereabouts in London are you, Saj? Because Bohemian is she's in London as well.
Nice. So I go between Northwest London and Kingston, which is in South London.
Right. I think she's. I don't know. Where are you, B? Whereabouts are you? Tell her where you are, because, yeah, I think she'd like to meet up with you once the lockdown's over.
Great.
Let's have a look. Felicia. Oh no, that's not Felicia. Where does it? I've just seen her. Felicia is a friend of Bohemian B. They bumped into each other apparently, and she watched. There's Felicia, and she watched Veganville, and said I had a big influence on her. So that was pretty cool. That was nice.
That's cool.
Michelle remixed. Is that Michelle Lowe? What are you remixing? Are you doing a bit of
Michelle in the house?
Are you doing a bit of DJing or something? What's going on there? I think it's something to do with the channel. I'm not sure. Oh, she's in West London, not far.
That's okay, great. We can go to Island Ting sometime.
So, what are your plans for the future then? What's going to be your tactics for? Are you going to just tempt people with amazing vegan food? Is that the way we're going?
I think we're going to go with more food, more drinks, more giveaways, and more interaction. So definitely more videos, more YouTube cooking, more lives, and see where the results take us. So
you're going to guest on my channel, but why don't you set up your own? Why don't you set up your own YouTube channel? Because I think because you explain things so well in your commentary while your cooking is great, because you tell us about the spices, where they come from, the history. It's really interesting. I loved it. Even if it was out of a packet. But there's lots of people out there who can't. I mean, we won't mention Michelle Lowe. Michelle Lowe's cooking ability. I think she'd love that video you did. So yeah, I think I'll point her towards that one.
Whatever helps people, because a lot of people are intimidated by vegan cooking because they think, oh no, I need to know like 50 million spices. I need to know how to use 80 million bits of kit. I think some of the vegan cooking out there that you and I have discussed privately is quite intimidating to people that are not into the kitchen. And a lot of them use 20, 30, 40 ingredients in a recipe, and most people don't have time to do that. And this is where I think you and I come in, and others like Daniela, who are more practical in their approach.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I found all you need is a bit of turmeric, a bit of chili, cumin, gram masala, 4 ingredients. Throw them in. Throw chickpeas in. Tastes brilliant. No hardship. And then it's just a matter of mixing and matching and doing other stuff. But yeah, I think you're right there.
Danny, the other thing is some people are intimidated to get to that point, like, you know, because they're not familiar with curry, they weren't brought up with it. You know, I've got a lot of friends that are from a Polish background, and those guys weren't brought up with curry or spices or anything like that. And for them, this really is absolute baby steps with their veganism, and so they'll come into it with a non-spicy perspective. They'll try and veganize what they're familiar with at home. Then they'll go for the British food because that's what they eat when they're out and about with their friends.
Yeah.
And then, you know, as time goes on, they might try a korma, and then they'll think, oh, okay, this is nice. How do I do this? And then the spice powders, you know, they are intimidating at the beginning if you're not from a background that is used to them.
Well, to be honest with you, cheese on toast is quite intimidating if you've never used a cooker before or done anything yourself, like my lad upstairs in bleeding bed still. You know what I mean? It's like make a cheese on toast. How do I do that? Oh, what's this here? Oops. Yes, Veganville had a massive influence on me. GVG, help me go vegan without knowing it. Oh, nice. Well done. So I hope you're going to start influencing your friends, Felicia. Yeah, it's part of your lifestyle now. Get on to other people, bug them, your family, your friends. Lead by example.
The most beautiful thing is the actual community of being vegan.
Yes.
Like over the last 6 months, you know, as I've transitioned, you know, I've started to meet some very kind, supportive, and positive people that have made it possible. And they've all been encouraging. Nobody has judged me. No one has forced me. And we have very interesting and productive conversations whenever we catch up.
It's gone 3:30. Is there any questions for Saj? Has anybody got any little questions about Buddhism, about cooking? I know you've got to go soon, mate. So just give me a shout and say, Danny, I've got to go as soon as you need to go. But any questions about Buddhism, about Sri Lanka? I mean, does anybody fancy? I fancy visiting Sri Lanka. Where would you say to go if I wanted to go and like have a couple of weeks? Where would I sort of get a taste of?
What I would do, Danny, is I'd think about what you want to get out your trip and concentrate on 2 or 3 aspects in 2 weeks, because what you need to realize is Sri Lanka is, you know, a bit smaller than Wales, but it's got really bad roads apart from a couple of motorways. So getting around.
Really? I thought Sri Lanka was bigger than that. Wow. Okay.
No, it's tiny, and it's a bit like Israel. You know, you've got so many ethnic groups and cultures and, you know, religions, and there's going to be a bit of a tinderbox at some point, and they do have wars from time to time. But basically, most of the time everyone gets on fine, and everybody, you know, concentrates on their own thing, and they all do it well. So what I would do is, if you wanted to do, say, cricket and yoga, I would fix your trip around some cricket matches. And if you wanted to do yoga and go to the beach or vegan cooking or something like that, I would fix your trip around some activities and then do a weekend excursion to somewhere.
That's yes, yeah. I mean,
a lot of the schools, they try and pack too many things in, and they try and make people do the beaches and the temples and the other temple and the wildlife, and it's quite tiring going around in the sun. So I'd say, if you're going for 2 weeks, pick about 3 days for each aspect you want to do, and book, you know, traveling days around that and rest days, and then, you know, have a couple of days for eating and sleeping, and then that's your 2 weeks done.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I would want to see some history. I would want some time on the beach to chill, get weighted on hand and foot, a few cocktails maybe, massage. Okay. I don't think I want to do yoga on my holidays. I don't do yoga at home. You know, it's not my bag at all. No, but I'd love to see history. I'd like to hire a motorbike and travel around on a bike. That's what I'd like to do as well.
My friend Paul did that. He had an amazing time.
Did he really? Oh, there we go.
He's up north, just like you, but he's not vegan. But we'll work on it.
Let me just have a quick look. I've got a couple of questions. I know you've got to go, but let's have a look. What is your favorite recipe?
Oh, Daniela, you've got me. I think my new favorite at the moment is I've veganized a Sri Lankan favorite. So we have hot butter cuttlefish, calamari. So now I do hot butter king oyster mushrooms. Boom.
Oh, yes, that's king oyster mushrooms. They're amazing. Yeah. They're amazing.
Epic. Absolutely epic.
How does veganism fare in Buddhism? I mean, we have talked about this, Bea. You just like to give a quick answer.
It's very helpful for your spiritual practices. It's an ethical way of eating that reduces the impact on the environment. So I think, spiritually, you're doing a great thing by being vegan, and I think it will elevate your meditation and your good thoughts, right deed, and your progress against the noble path.
YVF sake, I would love to visit. Yeah, me too, mate. Let's do it. Let's go together. Nikki, herbs and spices are magical. Of course they are.
With you, Nikki.
It is more important to prevent animal suffering rather than to sit to contemplate the evils of the universe, praying in the company of priests. That was said by Buddha.
It's the way of life and not a religion. So with you too, Race. With you too.
Nice. Crikey, I need to put a picture in my profile. Sorry. Oh my God.
Next time, B. We'll do it next week, yeah?
Don't worry. My mouth is watering. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, Sajini does have that effect on a lot of people. So you've done a little bit of reviewing.
Yeah.
What's the best product you've seen for like value and taste? Just give us a quick tip. What would you say everyone go out and buy now?
I think everyone should go and try the Vibrant Vegan Company Carolyn box. It's absolutely epic. It's like a frozen vegan meal. It's a bit like a category, and it comes to your house in a box.
Really? And that's online?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So
Instagram. I think it's 15% off at the moment.
So let me just type it. So it's called what? Vibrant
Vegan Company.
Vibrant Vegan Company.
Yeah, and it's the Carolyn meal.
AERALN.
No, ALN.
ALN. Yeah.
It's like a rice lentil curry. It's absolutely epic, and I also love their Chiang Mai red jackfruit and their Brazilian samba stew. I think they are fantastic.
Oh, stop it!
Why?
Because I've just eaten. I've just done a 5K run. I've just eaten, and now I'm back to square one again. I'm starving. Stop it talking.
It will take you like 2 days for it to get delivered, but in time, Danny, in time, you will enjoy it.
Well, listen, I know it's only been a short stream, but I know you've got to get going, mate.
Yes.
But listen, thank you for getting on. Get that recipe sorted and filmed.
Cool.
And I will get it up on I will get it up on the channel as soon as you send it to me.
Perfect.
Everybody, look for Sajini on. If you look at this here, a Lankan reviews. Go on Instagram and find that. You will find her and have a look at that.
Yes.
You will be like me, starving. So thanks a lot for that, mate. I'll speak to you very soon.
Anytime. Take care and thanks for having me.
Take care.
Chat soon. Bye.
So, bloody hell. I'm starving. I don't know about you lot. Any questions out there? I might as well just stay on for a little bit because I'm bored. Any questions? Anybody want to ask me anything? Anybody watch that stream last night? Woo! Woo! That was some going. That really shocked me, that actually. Quite a shock that guy came on. How was my run? Struggled today. Struggled. Warm air. I can't breathe. I've told you before, I've gone out in sort of coolish air and my breathing doesn't stop me running. It's just when my legs stop working. But when it's warm, humid weather like this, struggle with my breath. So yeah, I didn't have a good one today. Yeah, that itchy dude he is a strange one, Michelle. And I mean, the last thing I said to him while we were chatting on Instagram, I just called him a prick and I just told him to F off. And I did not think he would come on the stream. But then I'm thinking in my head, his ego. He just couldn't help himself but to come on. But it shocked me when I saw him because it was hard to tell whether he was playing a character or not. where he was playing this shy. I'm under the feeling that he was trying to portray a character. He was trying to bring pity in. That's the impression I got. What's this here? Oh, see us Southerners run well. Yeah, because it's always bloody warm down there. Friggin' hell, we can have hailstones, snow, wind, fog, and sunshine in one day up here. Long runs are why cars and bikes were invented. Race lever, you will never be an athlete. You will never be an athlete if you have that attitude. Get running. We're built to run. Humans are built to run. That's what we were built for. Running through them savannas with arms full of fruit and vegetables. B, are you a runner too? No, she goes on a bike. Daniela, she goes on a bike. She pedals around. She pedals around in flat London. Race lever, I'm already an athlete. I'm already an athlete. I don't doubt you are, mate. Well, stop advocating bikes and cars then. Stop it. Yeah, I mean, I really like the running side of it. I really like the running, but I've gone back to the gym and I've made a stupid mistake. I thought I was as strong and supple as I was before lockdown, and I've damaged my triceps. My triceps are absolutely... Oh, it hurts when I do that. Well, don't do that then, but it hurts when I do that. Agony. So I really have sort of damaged myself, so I need to go back again. UK fam, not as good as I'd like. I cycle, as GVG has just outed me. I know I'm outing everybody at the moment. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, it's all a bit weird up here. It's all a bit weird up here in the northwest at the moment. It's like, what's going to happen next? Are we going to get a second wave and all that garbage? And if they shut the gyms again, I'm going to be devastated, absolutely devastated. So I'll tell you what I am doing in a week or so. I'm trying to sort a microphone out though. I don't know whether to get a mic. If anybody knows the best mic to put into an S10, to use the S10 as a sound recording device, because the camera on my new cam is, can you see, oh God, you see those little dots there? That's the microphone. So it does record sound, but if I'm doing AV, which I'm hoping to do a week on Saturday in Wigan with Wigan AV, I'm going to record on my phone. I'm going to use my phone as a sound device, because I've been looking up sound recording devices and they're not cheap. They're like 80 to 150 quid, and it's like, then you've got to buy a mic, a boom mic. You know what I mean? So yeah, if anybody knows any good gear, throw me a link down, please. No, we're not. No, Michelle, we're not in. No, we're not in lockdown again. We're same as you. We're same as you. It's like they're telling us we can't visit each other. They're saying that, but they're not closing the pubs. It's just a really strange situation. I can't get the reasoning behind that. I really can't. I mean, if you're going to tell people to stop going to each other's houses, they'll just go and meet in the pub, won't they? Fuck. Surely. Let's have a look. Yeah, Wigan. Yeah, Wigan. They're on Facebook. They're called Wigan 8. I'm sure it's Wigan. Yeah, I'm sure it's Wigan AV. Hang on 1 second. Yeah, 1 second. Right, share screen. Yeah, Wigan. Sarah Vidler runs it. She's the moderator. Yeah, I think they're doing one. I'll message you, Michelle. I'll message you the date, because that's sort of in between me and you, that, isn't it? Wigan. It's sort of like in between us both. But they're doing it one Saturday, so I'll text you over the actual date when I have a look. What am I doing? It's here on my phone. Dummy. Right, hang on one sec. Cube of Truth on the 15th of August. Saturday the 15th of August. Go on Facebook, join Wigan AV, and yeah, come over. We'll have a go at it. We'll do some street outreach. What are you on about? We can't do pubs. What are you talking about? No, you can't do pubs either. I can, as I'm a mile outside Greater Manchester, but the pubs are still open. What are you talking about? Unless it's just here in our town that they don't give a shit. Well, as far as I know, they haven't closed the pubs down, Michelle. Unless it's changed since 24 hours ago. So are you coming down? What? Are you coming doing some street outreach? Or film for me? Come and film for me. Will you taste test anything new? Yeah, I'll taste test anything, mate. Send me anything. I'll eat it. I'm not bothered. Oh, yeah, UK Vegan Family. You did one, didn't you? And you've just put the video up. Have a look at UK Vegan Family's video, Daniela and Adam. They did the first ever. Did you speak to anybody? Were you allowed to speak to anybody? Let me know. In fact, do you want to come on and have a chat about that? I'll send you the link. Let's ask you about that, how it went. There's a link. Come on. Come and have a chat with me about it. Because I mean, I did it on Veganville, but it was like a little sort of for the camera thing. I want to do it properly. I want to have a proper conversations with people without them sort of dragging people over, you know. But I'm not sure whether. I think they might let me go and talk to people straight away. I think they might let me, because apparently you've got to sort of shadow somebody. But I just go and talk to people anyway. Just go somewhere else. I like chatting to. I love talking with people about veganism. Because I love the fact that you can hit them with facts, and it's like you know when you've got somebody, when they start asking questions or they start, you know, it's just when they say nothing. It should let you, because I do it in the gyms. Believe it or not, I see people in the gyms, and I chat to them, and I always try and get it out. You know what I mean? That saying where they say, how do you know when someone's vegan? Give it 5 minutes and they'll tell you. Well, yeah, of course, that's true. And I'm proud of that fact. I'm proud of that fact. I'll tell everyone I'm vegan. You know what I mean? I'm vegan! I'm vegan. Oh, shit. My food doesn't scream. My food doesn't scream. That's what my t-shirt says. But my lead's not long enough on me. Love that t-shirt. I love that t-shirt. I've just got... Streamlabs as well. I've been trying to work that out. That's a crazy bloody thing. So I'm trying to work that out as well, because I can get super chats on that without getting me thousand subs. So we'll see what happens. Any questions? Anybody want to ask me anything? Ask me about anything. What's this now? You can go to the pub on your own or with someone else from your house, but you can't go with people not from your house. How do they know though? Who's gonna grass you up? I think I might just start grassing. I think I might go and sit in Shaw, get a deck chair, sit in Shaw. Say, you two, you can't go in together. Stop it. You know what I mean? It's like ridiculous, so ridiculous. I agree. What's this? It seems the only thing you can do is leave that world of madness. Oh, yeah. I'm halfway through a conversation there, as usual. Hello. Who's that little munchkin there? What's your name?
This is Jack. He's doing some colouring while he's on my lap. He's a bit clingy today.
That's what Christine started doing. She started doing colouring. She bought colouring books. You nearly put me in the eye then, Jack. What are you doing? Nearly put me in the... I better not swear as well.
No swearing.
I'll try not to. Jack, can you say this? No.
It's enough off Adam. I have to keep saying stop swearing.
Jack, say ships. So how did this activism, the street activism, go? Were you allowed to talk to people?
Yeah, you can. So what they like you to do is to do a bit of everything. So I really wanted to go in we both went in the queue for quite some time, actually. It was 12 till 3:30. And then we had a bit of a break, came out. So it's quite tiring just standing there in the same position. Adam had a TV on him and I was holding my laptop. Yeah. And we then came out and then did a bit of the chatting. And people just come up to you, but they don't necessarily come up to you. They're standing watching this footage and they're absolutely disgusted.
What's that?
Thank you. You get some people who just don't want to believe it. They just, you even hear people going, and then walk off, or, oh, that looks like a nice burger. You do get some real...
Yeah, of course you do.
But a lot of people were really shocked that was standard footage. There is a documentary you have to watch before you actually do the cube, because there is a particular sort of questions you have. So you'll have people come up to you and you sort of say, do you know why we're here today? And you kind of see what their answer is. And then you kind of say, well, what do you think about the footage? You know, how do you find it? And they'll go, well, I don't agree with it. It's animal abuse. And that's kind of how you go. You keep coming back to the animals every time that they might ask you questions about it.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of the conversation with, so what are you going to do about it if you don't agree with it? I had a gentleman who said to me, well, I'm going to go organic, and I'm going to say, but those animals still end up in the same slaughterhouse.
Grass fed, that's the big one, isn't it? Grass fed. I don't think there's a single cow in the UK that's grass fed. You know what I mean? How are you supposed to grow a cow or beef quick enough on grass? It's just not possible, and it's worse for the environment as well. You know what I mean? The sheep are causing terrible damage because they chew the grass so far down that it turns the fields to dust, and then it gets washed away by the rain and the winds. They reckon that the sheep are the biggest cause of soil erosion going. You know, it's crazy, absolutely crazy.
But you'll love it. It's really good. It's really good. I think on the main page there should be a link for the documentary to watch with Paul, who does I think it's about an hour.
Paul Bashir, yeah.
He just goes through the ethos really about what they're about, and as long as you kind of follow that, they're really good at socially distancing. The only thing is you find you move a lot when you're in the cube. You'd think standing straight you wouldn't move, but we both got told for moving too much. You need to come back.
Really?
Yeah, you move loads. Like, it's because you get uncomfortable.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying really you're getting uncomfortable. Obviously, going to get uncomfortable stood in one spot, but they tell you off for moving. Oh dear. Yeah. I can see the problems in me. I don't let anybody tell me what to do as much. Some people are talking about the face mask. I think it's Nikki and Ray's. Yeah.
They give you those, but they ask that you wear a face mask, like a normal face mask that we're all wearing out in public. They ask that you do that, and if you hold one of their TVs, they tend to give you gloves as well.
Yeah. I mean, do you know something? I agree with some of these comments here about they turning us into a nation of germaphobes, because we've become too clean. Personally, I think as a society, we've become too clean. You've got all these cleaning products. I mean, I used to eat stuff with dirty hands. You know, I used to come in and just like grab stuff and eat stuff, and all these surfaces now. Some people say that it's cleaner to drink water out of your toilet than it is out your sink, because we've got. I wouldn't try. I don't try. I don't drink often. The only time I've drunk is out of those water fountains that you get in posh hotels, next to the toilet. That's the only time I've ever drunk out of one of those water fountains. I've no idea what it was for. But households are too clean, so we're not testing our immune systems, and it's always been a bone of contention with me as far as that's concerned. So when you going on another one, Dan?
They've got another one end of August, so that as long as I can get childcare for this one, then we can go and have some time doing that. Ours is in Birmingham, our local one, so that's the one we'll go to. Did you all stand social distance within the cube? Yes, we did, and I think the organisation expects that as well. So normally you're back to back, which would kind of stop you moving in the cube, but because you have to be distant, I think that's why we all kept moving about.
How did you feel on your first approach? How did you feel when you first went talking to someone? Were you nervous, or did you?
I'm not going to lie. I said I was terrified. I just wanted to do the cube. I didn't actually want to do anything else for the first one because I wanted to watch what everybody was doing. I'm a bit of a watcher and then a doer. But
yeah, I get that.
Just came up to me and I thought, actually, no, I know what I'm talking about. I
yeah.
know what to say, so I just did it. And he took a card off me. He was like, yeah, I'm going to go vegan today. Don't know whether he will, but it was really good.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't be cynical and just assume that people will say they go vegan and they wouldn't. You've just got to assume that they will. I mean, I remember when I was in Wales and we'd done the barbecue dog thing, you know, the dog on a spit that we covered in blood. And this old bloke coming, and I'm not joking, he must have been about 80-year-old. He must have been. He was lovely. And he had a big gold chain on with 2 boxing gloves on. And he stood there watching. And I said, do you want me to explain what it's all about, mate? And he went, no, I get it. I'm going to do it. I went, what? He says, I'm going to stop eating meat. Just like that. And then he just walked off. And it's like, you know, some people do instantly get it. Some people do. And it's obvious. You know, when you look around, it's like, I mean, especially when you get to like in your 80s and you're seeing all your mates dropping like flies of stroke and heart disease. It must be heart-wrenching to do that, to see your whole social circle sort of die prematurely, you know? I think I'm going to see it. I'm just, you know, I've seen 5 friends have stroke and heart attacks anyway, and they're all younger than me, you know? And it's like, it's frustrating to, even after, there's a friend of mine she had a small heart attack, and then she gets home, and the next thing I see on Instagram is she's got 5 packs of sweets, donuts, pop, and it's like, wow, you've had a warning, and you still persist, and it's just people would rather risk it. And what they don't get is that if you have a stroke, it could. I mean, my friend Abdul, right? He was a great lad. He was always all over the place, running around, doing this, running Indian restaurants. He's had this stroke. He played football. He run football teams. He did youth teams. He's walking with a Zimmer frame now, and he's about 5 years younger than me. In fact, I think he's younger. I don't think he's even 45 yet.
Really?
And it's like, that's what you're risking. Never mind this.
As well, I know people younger that have had strokes, even younger than frightening. It shouldn't happen.
I mean, it starts from being a young kid as well. I mean, they reckon that kids are getting fat streaks in the tissues before they're born from the mother, you know. And it's like, wow, we're just setting everybody off to a fail, aren't we?
Good. It's not good. Yeah.
So we've been on a bit of a mission, haven't we? We've been on a bit of a mission trying to find video of vegan deterioration.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've been on because of my sunken eyes.
I've got 2 videos on, so you need to go on, Dan.
Well, I told you I'm going to get some horror makeup and do a stream, and then she can. But she actually did a live stream last night.
She did.
And I've never seen anybody, right, talk without any of the face moving from there up. I'm gonna as soon as I finish this stream, I'm gonna screen record the video, and I'm telling you, people, you will be amazed how this. I know what it is, and I'm not saying it now, and we all know what it is, but it's as though she was paralyzed from there upwards. It's fucking strange. I thought I was watching an animated cartoon. I really did, where just the mouth moves. Oh my God. So yeah, I've got a few things to say on that. So that's what I will be doing.
I look forward to that.
How did you feel when you got home after the cube? Did you feel it reaffirmed why you were vegan?
I felt incredible. I think one of the words I used in my video that we've done, I felt empowered. I said to the guys there today, I mean, I'm proud to be vegan, but I'm so proud. It's a good way of showing people the truth. Don't go to them, they come to you, and you kind of assess whether that person is going to stay long enough for you to approach them. And if you want to do it, check out your local group on Facebook. It's incredible. It's really, really good way of getting that message out.
I mean, if you're vegan and you've studied it and you know why you're vegan and you are vegan for the animals, you know, because the diluted message is it's a vegan diet and I'm doing it to lose weight or to be healthier. Well, no, if you're vegan for the animals, it doesn't take long to get the knowledge that you need to tell people where they go, you know, what the problem is with eating animals. It doesn't take long.
They don't go on to any of that. They constantly bring it back to the animals.
Yes.
What they say is if they're not interested about their health, they're not going to be interested about the animals.
Yeah. I mean, it is a bit of I'm a bit skeptical about that because everybody's different, you know. Dad had a quadruple bypass some years ago. Doctor said could keep eating steak and all other animal products. Every time I look in the parents' fridge freezer, I feel like crying. Still only vegan in the family. Cat the vegan artist. I'm really sorry to hear that. And it's so frustrating. It's like, oh man, I can see what you're doing. You're heading for a big fall. And it's like watching your parents about to cross the road in front of a big bus and there's nothing you can do to stop them stepping out in front of that bus. You know it's coming. You know what's going to happen. But there's fuck all you can do to stop it. It must be so frustrating. It is frustrating for me. My wife still smokes. You know what I mean? So I'm on a losing battle there. Who's this?
A hard habit to kick, that is.
It is. I've got some weirdo here now. Who's this? I'm Easy Vegan.
Hi guys.
What are you doing popping up on me? Did I invite you or something? You can't just keep popping up on people's streams.
You've put the stream in there and I've accepted and you've let me in.
It was for Danny. That was it. It wasn't for you.
Oh, apologies.
Right, Dan, I'm going to let you go, mate.
You take
Thanks for
care.
coming on. I'll speak to you very soon.
Well, bye all.
Bye.
Just got back from the vigil, mate.
Oh, how did you get on?
Yeah, it was good, man. Yeah, it's good. It was different, like first one, obviously. Definitely be going to some more.
Did any wagons turn up?
No, there was no trucks today. I think they're shut on Sunday, so they don't keep the animals overnight. 2 nights.
So why do we do the vigil?
So it's mainly for vegan muscle. Just showing respect to her.
Right.
No, it's good. I've got a lot of footage now. I've got to add a little few interviews and that. So I'll edit a video, post it up tonight or tomorrow. But no, it was good. So it was nice being around so many vegans. You know what I mean? It was good.
Is it in a public area? Do you get a lot of passers by?
Oh yeah. So it was mainly so it's not like a main road. So it was showing signs on the road and that. Loads of tell you what I was really surprised about was the amount of support. Like people bibbing with thumbs up and stuff. Like
yeah. I get that outside Tulip. Yeah.
A lot of knobbers as well, of course.
Yeah, of course. I mean, well, it's these people that shout all these comments. People who are more likely to, I've always said this: anybody who doesn't interact or doesn't say anything, and just quietly goes on the journey, on the way, you're never ever going to reach them. But the people who, whether they shout insults or whether they're interested, they're triggered, so they're interested. So you know what I mean? Like I've always said this: don't ever shy away from the gobshite.
Oh yeah.
Don't ever shy away from the gobshite because The gobshites are the ones who will engage you. And once they start asking all the questions because they think they're clever, and you give all the answers just dispelling everything they've ever heard, you're more likely to get somebody to start thinking about it and move towards that lifestyle.
One guy decided to throw a load of dead animals at us.
You joke? Yeah, what was it? A takeaway or something?
Like a packet of it must have been like some like raw steak or something.
Really?
Packet. Some poor lady got it all on her leg and that. And,
no,
I watched
that's
the pictures
ridiculous.
And footage, and then I spoke to him after. Yeah, like what jokers, do you know what I mean?
Did you get the registration?
No, well, a lot of people, it just kind of happened. Obviously, they drove off. It's on it's like a dual carriageway, so it's quite quick traffic.
Yeah.
Trying to find him. I think don't know if someone had a picture, but I mean, it was like this one guy, mate, and I noticed, and he was quite calm, and he was just slowed just like that at his window.
Yeah.
Quite old, middle age. I mean, in his 40s, 50s. And he's got like his kid, like who was probably, I don't know, 6 years old next to him. I'm just thinking, what a role model you are. Do you know what I mean? like that kid ain't got no hope. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? That's it. Oh, I'm glad he did. I'm glad he did it.
That's good. Yeah, definitely go to some more, and that would be some trucks next time. But
I mean, what tends to happen is you probably find that the lorries go in on a Sunday, because what they like to do, especially at Tulip, is stock up on the Sunday for the Monday morning kill, and that's how it works. And then Friday they usually left empty for over the weekend, because I think there is legislation for these poor animals that they can't be kept for so long in these pens. But it must be heart-wrenching, and to be put in, you go from somewhere where you're familiar with, where you're getting abused, to somewhere where you're unfamiliar, and it's just, God, it must be awful for these animals. I mean, as a trucker, I mean, what I've noticed now, more and more since I've been to a vigil, is the cattle trucks going past. I noticed them. You know, like when you
just when you're driving the motorway.
Just even when I'm walking down the street, they always catch my eye now, and they always turn and look, and like, I don't know, I just sort of tilt my head a little bit in respect, but you notice it more. I never used to even give them a second glance before I was vegan, but now I've been to a vigil, it's like they always catch my eye, and it's always.
I'm like that with just farm animals now. You see in the field, you know, you see them in the field, and I kind of poor animals don't know what's coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's it, isn't it? I mean, it's like that video I sent from my favourite abattoir, where they like to come out and try and beat me up. It's like the poor animals are all in a field, and there's kids. It's like a public footpath going past, so all the kids, and in the kids' head, they've seen all these beautiful animals out having fun in the field, and it's like, like you said, they don't know what's coming to them. They don't know what's coming to them. Yeah, any more questions?
How does it go with Sajini? I'll catch up and watch it later.
Yeah. I can't wait for it to do another recipe, because let's have a look. It's because you're awake now. Yeah, I'm awake now. I'm awake after my run. How many vigil? Was there many vigil keepers? How many people were there, mate?
I got some footage. I'll show you when I edit the video, and I'll put it up. But I reckon there was quite a good turnout, to be fair. I reckon 30 people, maybe.
And is it an organised one? Is there an organizer?
Yeah, was it Animal Save? I think Animal Save movement.
Yeah, the Animal Save. Yeah. There's one for every sort of area, isn't there? Manchester Animal Save, Tulip Animal Save. Yeah, they're all over the place. But people should go to them, and I really want to try and get a couple of my carny friends to come to a vigil. I'm gonna make moves to try and get some of them to come once the lockdown's over, because at the moment I think ideally you can only do it in groups of 6, even though the lockdowns have eased. You're not supposed to mix, especially here now in the northwest with this bullshit that's going on. But I'd like to film some of my meat eating friends on a trip down there to come and have a look and look these victims in there.
Didn't you have
What
one
do you mean?
before? And you actually spoke to. I remember seeing one of your other videos that you were at a vigil, and there was actually a woman, I think, and she was like, "Oh, I'm not actually vegan."
Yes, that's
It's
right.
quite
Yeah, and
different.
she come down with a friend. Yeah, and I chatted with her. Yeah, and she got it sort of, but it was like it still wasn't enough for her. I'm not saying it's a magic bullet. You know, it's not a magic bullet to come and see them because, I mean, to be honest with you, it is heart wrenching when you know what's going to happen to them and that they're a condemned personality going to the ultimate death, violent,
like the front
horrible
line,
death.
isn't it? Do you know what I mean? They're taking the front line of it, yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I'm going to try and get really active this year, get some footage, going out with the hunt sabs this month. Hopefully, we're going to get that sorted. Yeah, so I'm hoping to get James from JJ Film. He's the guy who was on one of my other videos at the vigils who did some filming. He did the glass walls video. Do you know why he actually turned vegan? Him because he was a welder, and they sent him to Tulip in Ashton to do some welding. And when he went in there welding, obviously he saw the process, and he said, "I walked out of there, I jacked my job in, and I went vegan." And this is a bloke who's over 40 years old. It's like something like that. Even though he was aware of what was going on, once he was in there and he saw was actually that was it, turned him. And he's a big vegan advocate now. So he's going to be coming up filming with me on the hunt sabs, and we're going to try and get an interview with the actual hunters as well. Whether they'll talk to us or not, I might have to do a little bit of lying, bit of ducking and diving. So
say you're a hunter or whatever.
Well, just say I'm not vegan. I'm not going to tell them I'm vegan.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to say I'm doing a documentary. Hello, right? Listen.
Say you're not a vegan and ask, so what do you think of these bloody vegans then? These bloody weirdos.
Yeah, these hunt. What do you think of these hunt stabs? What are they all about? These idiots. What are they doing? Right. Well, listen. I'm going to
catch you later.
I'm going to drop off now. But listen, thanks for everyone for joining, and keep your eye open for Sajini's recipe on my channel very soon. Later.
Good man.